Let's talk about another cool material that V-Ray offers to us. It's called the V-Ray two-sided material. So we'll just change this to V-Ray two-sided material, which is right here. We can keep the old as a submaterial. Now, the V-Ray material you plug other materials into, so there's a front material and a back material. The front material can be whatever you want, and then the back material can also be whatever you want. If you don't put a back material, it will just use the front material. There's a translucency setting. It works like other maps where the black means it's not translucent at all. The white means it's fully translucent. And you can also apply a mask here and turn the mask up and down. This is on by default, and they recommend you not turning it off for single-sided submaterials. And like they say on their webpage, these work best with single-sided polygons, in other words, polygons that do not have shells. Let's look at what kind of examples this can create. So this is the V-Ray website. This here is what I use them for the most, these lamps, okay? So for lampshades, you use a V-Ray two-sided material. And this one is actually only using one material. It's this fabric. And there's a self-illuminated object inside of that lampshade. And you can see with the translucency setting right here with this color, some of that self-illuminated material is showing through. So let's just do a quick example here. And this will give me an opportunity to show you some self-illumination stuff. Okay, so let's just make a basic V-Ray material, and we'll make the self-illumination match here. And we can turn it up to 6 so that that's a glowing object. Apply it to there. Now there is one other way to do a self-illuminated material. It's here. This is the V-Ray light material. And you do color. Here's the multiplier here. You can add maps to it. But really, I don't know. It seems like that's kind of the outdated way to do it, because they've added the self-illumination directly into the V-Ray materials now. So seems like I haven't found much use for the V-Ray light material after they did that. So now it's just built right in. So with that, we have a illuminated material. Now let's find our V-Ray two-sided material again here. Let's go into the front material, and on the diffuse map, we'll just put a random bitmap, or maybe just a noise map. Let's do that. So go to our standard maps and put a noise map. Set the size to 1, and we will apply it to the object. Make sure we can see it. I can't see it. Again, our previews aren't great on these procedural maps. Okay, so we've got just a random noise map there. Let's make something more interesting so we can see it better. Hold on a second. Okay, I actually applied a bitmap now, and I just got the first one I found. Okay, with this random map applied, we can show it in viewport. Okay, now here if we back out, we see that that material, that bark, is applied. We have the translucency set to 50% basically, with the middle gray. And if we render that, we'll start seeing how this light material comes through. So basically it is a translucent material. That's what we use the V-Ray two-sided material for, as opposed to transparent material. It's not like glass, it's translucent. So like a fabric that light will shine through. And you saw the examples on the webpage too. So let me render this. Okay, that's nice and ugly for us. And it's not really showing a lot of translucency either, so let's adjust some settings just to show you here. So what we can do is take this V-Ray two-sided material, make it a lot more translucent, like that. And the other thing I wanted to do was turn up the self-illumination of this to make this even brighter. So we'll double it and then try again. So you can see there is light shining through this thing. That globe is somewhat illuminated. There's also there's going to be more light showing through where the lighter parts of the bitmap are, just like a real translucent object. So a good way to use this is for leaves, grass, blades of grass, curtains, lampshades, all those kind of things. Anything that lets light through. So you can see you don't necessarily see the light object through it because it's not transparent. but it is being lit from within like a lampshade. Okay, so that's how you use the V-Ray two-sided. Now on leaves, you could put one material on the bottom and one on the top, two different leaf patterns, and as the sun shines through, then you will get a more realistic look because leaves are translucent. If you hold them up to light, light will come through them, like when you hold a flashlight up to your fingers and things like that. That's more like subsurface scattering textures, but you get the point. So flat objects that let light through, that's where you use the V-Ray two-sided material. And the settings are all pretty simple. If you want to see examples, just go to the V-Ray website here, and you'll see with different settings the different kind of effects you can get. Okay, so you can turn up the opacity on that front material, and then you'll start seeing the light object inside. You would do that by actually changing the opacity of this material. So we'd add some refraction to this, like that. Okay, so now you'll actually see that through there. So it's translucent and transparent at the same time. So these settings give you basically what you need to know. Here you can see an example of leaves where, and also it looks like grapes maybe, something. But light is going through those leaves in a translucent manner. And there is a paper lamp, which is pretty cool, and curtains like I mentioned. So that's the V-Ray two-sided material, very useful for specific scenarios.